In case you missed it, Wuthering Waves came back again at the recent Tokyo Game Show to showcase some new details for Wuthering Waves and what they've been working on. Now here's the thing, I went to watch the original stream and first off, I couldn't even find it. It was so difficult to find this live stream. I had to like dig through a bunch of different VODs and channels and pages because it wasn't just on the Wuthering Waves page. I did manage to find a watch along from Motayaba. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll throw a screenshot up so you can actually see what channel I'm talking about, who did happen to have a watch along available on their channel. Now I started playing it and well, it was kind of hard to watch.
皆さんこんにちは。声優の石川優です。よろしくお願いいたします。
はいどうもこんにちは。声優の岩崎亮太です。よろしくお願いします。
There was no English subtitles that I could follow along with, and I had no idea what was being said whatsoever. So I just decided, okay, maybe I'm gonna take a break from this. But then, like angels descending from the heavens, the wonderful ladies at, well, now Grey Raven Radio and Wuthering Waves Radio have released an 8-minute summary of what was revealed at the Tokyo Game Show, or TGS, and they've given me permission to take a look at it and react to it and see what exciting new details have come in from Wuthering Waves. So let's jump in. Let's not waste our time. Let's find out what new details have dropped. But before we do, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, guys. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, make sure to drop a like and subscribe on the original channel. I will have that linked in the description down below. Let's dive in! I got these new big bulky studio headphones that make me kind of look like a goof, but everything sounds way better and more balanced, so I'm gonna use them anyway. Freaking deal with it, bro.
Tokyo Game Show recently had a Japanese live stream for Wuthering Waves. Between the stream itself and TGS promotional material, we got a lot of information about character redesigns, how the game is looking now, and even a new trailer.
I did watch that preview. He looks really good.
World, followed by a small demonstration featuring male Rover, one of the two possible protagonists of Wuthering Waves.
Seems they used the
environment
old
is looking
beta.
so good in the game.
Wow.
You can tell things have been brightened up a bit since the first closed beta, which is one of the main criticisms people had about
I'm liking the amount of color they brought in there.
It was just a little bit too dull for everyone's liking.
I was saying that before too, that I thought it was a little too drab, a little too gray. And I had a couple people come at me in the comments saying like, well, no, you're gonna make it bright and it's just gonna look exactly like Genshin. Like, no, you can have more color and not be Genshin at the same time. There's more to it than simply just the vibrance of colors. There's color theories deeper than that, as well as like different like designs as art styles. It's not simply just saturation. So I'm personally a fan of the more vivid colors that they've brought in here.
Managed to retain the charm of the post-apocalyptic setting without making it feel too cutesy and too bright.
Yeah, seems so.
A little bit of demonstration about the ecosystem, which is basically Pokemon. You go around, you catch your little monsters, except unlike Pokemon, you use them as equipment and you farm them for their stats.
Man, I need to get in CBT 2 so bad whenever that does launch, because like I gotta try this. I gotta get my hands on it.
Want to be strong? You get good echoes. There were definite flaws in the system for the first closed beta, but defeating echoes in order to get a chance of obtaining them was really exciting. It felt good whenever you saw that little orange projection left behind and you could slurp them up. We then got to see
and I think that's a good way to keep certain regions more exciting too. If like you have to farm the enemies in those areas to like go back to like get them as like your artifacts, as opposed to just like a domain that you have to repeat through. Like I can appreciate that.
The area at the very start of the game where you begin from the perspective of female Rover.
Interesting.
It just looks so much better now. It looks so much more approachable. I really enjoyed exploring the world in the first closed beta, and now I think I'm gonna enjoy it even more, because even back then, I thought it was really pretty. Interestingly, female Rover in this footage still has her white undershirt, which I was sure they were going to remove, even though they added it at some point. Because the cosplayers at Gamescom and a previous event weren't wearing a white undershirt like that. Then they showed—
Interesting observation. Is it because redesign, or is it because you know why?
Off the trailer showcasing how
that looks so good. Now. I love that. The whole layout.
And it is gorgeous.
The coloring.
They've really...
I've heard that they've brought, like, some people said that they kind of bring in almost like an Elden Ring like aesthetic. And like this, I think if you had like a mood board of Elden Ring images with featuring like the Erd tree and stuff, I think this like really hits that color palette well in like a good way. Not like in like a let me copy your homework kind of way, like in a definitely pulling inspiration in a way that I appreciate.
Worked on the lighting effects. We've got weather now that didn't exist before. Everything looks so beautiful in day and night. Suffice to say, Kuro's been cooking.
Love it.
It's great to know that they're proud
They've
enough
been
of their
cooking.
environment
Let 'em
that they're
cook.
gonna show them off all on their own. Then, excitingly, we got a reveal of Yang Yang. Her design has been tweaked again.
Yeah.
We already had a pretty good idea this was going to be happening because
I think she got
there were
buffed.
Chibis from the old event.
If you know what I
that
mean.
showcased this new design.
There
where
was some
she's got no
controversy around that.
bandages And she's got a skirt instead of shorts. But this is the first time we've properly seen it in game and also in the artwork, because until now they've
Definitely
been
looks
showing
more
off
elegant.
Yang Yang with the bandages. Up
Right.
until
That's
the
what-
TGS artwork, which I'll go
Hold up. This was the controversy with Yang Yang. People were said they were really upset with her asset nerf. And it seems like they may have backpedaled a little bit.
Up until the TGS
Just saying.
artwork, which I'll go into in a bit. In my opinion, the bandages always looked kind of bad, so I'm really glad they removed them. She looks a lot more put together now, and even though
She does
I
look a lot
almost
better.
always prefer
Love the glow in the hair
pants
too.
designs,
That's such a
feel
great
that the
addition.
skirt suits her because it makes her outfit look more like a dress, which kind of suits how elegant it looks. I also just wasn't a huge fan of the way the shorts were designed, so this definitely feels more like a final. Wasn't a huge fan of the way
The shorts make me think of from Genshin, the recent character Lynette that like a lot of people really didn't like. They really did. Or yeah, Linny? No, Linny. Not Lynette. Linny. A lot of people hated Linny's short design, and that's what it looks like, but she just has stockings underneath it. So like, yeah, I can see why like I don't overly love that either.
the shorts were designed, so this definitely feels more like a final design than a prototype design, and I'm really
That's
excited
great.
about her. She looks good. My biggest fear that came with the skirt was potential upskirts, but it doesn't seem to be noticeable in the trailer, so fingers crossed. Her tights
Your
are a lot more
concern
brown and
is other people's
shiny
hope.
and nylon than they used to be.
Not me.
So shiny tights fans are gonna be happy with this, I guess.
Who doesn't love a good nylon? Am I right?
Yang Yang is your companion character in Wuthering Waves. The Paimon of Wuthering Waves, if you will.
Something you need?
So it's important
Any Yan Yan mains in the chat? Let's go.
that she looks generally appealing and doesn't have any weird design features that might be distracting to people. I'm pretty sure they also made her bustier again, but because she doesn't have the
See?
huge giant head and the teeny tiny body she used to have in the technical test, it honestly looks fine. She looks proportionate. I'm seriously so glad they toned down those weird proportions from before and made things a little bit more realistic.
I wasn't the only one who noticed. Wuthering Radio also, people of culture.
They later showed off the Alto PV in Japanese, but unlike
Oh, I
Yang
haven't
Yang,
seen the
his
Japanese
design
version,
hasn't changed
actually. I've only
at
seen the
all,
English
really.
version.
He looks better, but he's still Alto. In addition
Yeah,
to
he
the
looks really
trailer,
good.
we got to see his updated model in game. He's still very similar to before, but man, I love the way he twirls and his little cape twirls along with him. It looks
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. He loves spinning.
It has a
He spins
really
his guns, he
satisfying
spins himself.
curl to
He's
it.
got places to be. Then they showed off a trailer of Encore, who hasn't changed
Encore.
much except for her name. She used to be called Anka. From my understanding, Encore is pretty much how it was pronounced in Chinese anyway, so
Okay.
following the musical theme of the game, it makes sense that they would have changed it like this. Her game
Personally, I think Encore's a way better name, especially based on kind of like the whole like music motif that they're having carrying through this whole thing. I think Encore is a way more like fitting name. You might say it's cheesy. Some people might think it's a little bit cheesy or too on the nose. I personally like it. I'm a fan.
gameplay seems to be the same as well, hopefully with some adjustments, because honestly, for a 5-star character, she wasn't one of my favorites. I gotta say, I didn't really enjoy playing her that much in the closed beta test. What
From her core kit that we were seeing, not on that alt there, but on her core kit, it really reminds me a lot of like Klee, who fell off so hard on the Genshin side. If anybody here also, by the way, is upset at me making any kind of Genshin comparisons here, chill. Like, their competition, ain't no way they're not. And I think drawing some kind of comparisons is not a bad thing. So, like, leave the beef at home, all right? Or on the barbecue, because I will eat that.
is, of course, still great about her are her little ram horns that she gets when she uses her resonance
Those are pretty
liberation and goes into this berserk mode. Then we got an
Damn
updated
it.
look at a Crownless cutscene, as well as some gameplay. Crownless is the first boss you fight in the game, and
Oh my
also a boss
gosh.
you can refight later. And it's just extremely cool. Crownless has the cool factor.
He
The
does.
fight also felt like one
Agreed.
of the best fights in the
Agreed.
closed beta test. so hopefully the rest of them can get on that level. You can tell Kuro really loves the crownless, which is exactly why they built this huge statue, which they even showed a little making of video.
Oh,
I've always wondered, what do they do with these huge displays after the events are over? Like, I'm assuming this one was at Tokyo Game Show or something, but what do they do afterwards? Do they give it away? Do they throw it in the trash? Do they bring it back somewhere, even though it would cost loads to disassemble again?
I'm pretty sure that was the same one. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that was the same one that they also had at Gamescom in Germany. So they were probably bringing it around to a lot of the game conventions that they were at. And they'll probably bring it back to like the head offices. They'll find somewhere in the head office to put it, and then it'll be around that like the employees can walk around and see it. That'd be my best guess.
Shut off Scar again. He's an early-ish boss in the game, but to disassemble again.
I need to point something out here
shut
really
off
quick.
Scar.
There's something that often gets missed in 3D animation that gets lost from 2D animation. And that's here where we can see the outline of the eye behind the hair. That is something that is often included into the 2D animation side of anime, and is one of those things that really helps elevate the kind of anime aesthetic that you are looking for and expect to see. And it's one of the things that when you look at 3D modeling and animation with an anime aesthetic, it's another, checkbox or thing that just, removes you from kind of getting that experience. I love that they have gone through the effort to put in those outlines on the characters' eyes, because this is a very short clip here, and maybe it's going to be more impactful later on in more like long form like conversations, but here the fact that they have that you can see the outlines through the hair is just like a little extra like spice, a little extra sprinkle of detail that I love that they put in the extra time and effort to do so, because I think it just shows the attention to detail that they're putting in this game, and it makes me excited. Love it. I'm so happy with that.
They shut off Scar again. He's an early-ish boss in the game, but he was late in terms of the amount of story that was in the CVT. He was one of the final bosses. You can tell
Future
they put a lot
playable
of
character?
interesting thought into that fight.
Question mark?
I still don't know how to feel about this poor man's outfit, but hey, we got some cool artwork.
I like it. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's like, it kind of fits the design. What is going on in the crotch though? That's okay. That's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't love that. That's kind of weird there.
Of him. I mean, look, he's even smart enough to Velcro his pants so that he can go to the bathroom.
I swear I haven't pre-watched this.
King. There was a segment where the voice actors all got to play a bit of the game, but unfortunately they were still playing on the first closed beta test build, so there was nothing new there. This brings us to the TGC promotional artwork.
TGC?
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba.
Chisia on the right seems mostly unchanged, though it seems that she has some yellow streaks of hair intertwined in her braid now. But otherwise, she seems pretty much the same.
She did have a major overhaul, like just before a lot of these like conferences and events and stuff, right? Like just like a couple months ago. So I mean, like, I don't know, that makes some sense to me.
Probably a good thing considering she already had a huge overhaul before, where she used to look like this. But Yang Yang and Baileon here look pretty different. We've already talked about Yang Yang and how she's changed, but Baileon was not featured in this live stream at all. And she seems to have gone through some dramatic changes to her design. In the
that looks
test,
so
she began
good.
With black hair and then graduated to green with a lighter green
she's
streak.
basically
and
the
now
same.
she has lost some of that green in her hair again. She's lost
it
that
looks more
weird,
gray.
impossible braid in her bangs that she had. Her shorts are no more, and instead she is wearing an elegant, if a little short dress. She's got more flowers in her design now, and glow.
I mean, you could argue it makes some sense based on where her mark is, but we all know why they actually did it.
And a completely pointless thigh strap.
We all love a good garter. They were doing the same thing in Honkai Star Rail. So many of the characters have that.
In this sticker, we can even see that one of her ears is no longer covered up. And one of the most drastic changes, perhaps, is that her eyes have completely changed color from purple to green. I am so excited to see her full model. In the first closed beta, she was very green. I am so excited to see her full model.
Looking at it again, actually, you can see towards the tail end of the hair there, you can see there is some green definitely still in. So it looks like they're doing a little more of like a gray on top, like an ombre into the green, assuming this is actually accurate to her new design. You can see they definitely still kept some of the green in there. That's cool. I personally think I'm a fan of that change so far.
In the first closed beta, she was a very elegant yet stoic character. but she was also kind of an archaeologist type, which is why that design with the shorts felt like they made some amount of sense. But the design itself just wasn't very good. I think I'm okay with her current redesign, depending on how it looks in game. In particular, if they keep her nice, practical boots. Kuro Games has been pushing a lot of promotional material for Wuthering Waves
Man, that
lately.
Sanhua
And if you
animation
want
was
to learn
great.
about Sanhua's terrifying vision, you'll have to watch this video, which goes into detail about her tragic backstory.
Oh, future video. Definitely want to check that one out. Well, honestly, I think that looks great. Take these headphones off so I look less dumb. I think overall, like, that's pretty good. I think I expected a little bit more. I was really hoping that they were gonna have like some kind of like CBT2 announcement or something bigger in there. I mean, the fact that they were still like full-blown like showcasing in engine, like the new environmental designs, the new color changes that they've done, the weather system that they've put in place, like they're showing a lot of that stuff in engine, which is like, that is a great sign. So I am super excited about those things. And we're seeing updates in the design. So clearly like they're cooking, they're grinding away on that feedback and they're making those changes. So like, this is another step into like, I'm stoked about this direction. So love to see it. Again, shout out to Wuthering Radio. Thank you so much for putting that together, because watching that stream was difficult for me over in the West. So greatly appreciate that. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.